For 2 decades, the Absa Cape Epic has challenged mountain bikers to brave the untamed, to endure and enjoy, to suffer and to succeed. From 2004 to 2024, the race has inspired and challenged. It demanded innovation and rewarded with glory. For the world's best riders, it offered fame. And for amateurs, it provided a place in the Book of Legend. Every March, 700 teams take on a new route across South Africa's Western Cape province, scaling high mountain passes and crossing windswept valleys. District roads, dual tracks and trails through pristine Fynbos provide the testing ground for teams of 2, competing across elite, age and mixed category competitions. The Absa Cape Epic is above all a race, the world's premier off-road stage race, the Tour de France of mountain biking. Every team taking part is competitive, either racing for outright category victory, a podium place, to beat bitter or friendly rivals, or riding their hearts out to make each stage's cut-off, battling to stay in the race. In so doing, they each continue their unique, untamed stories. Tales which began with learning to ride a bicycle and continued through the journey of cycling to entering this year's race. Each pedal stroke now is a character in the next chapter of these stories. Each water point, the end of a paragraph. Each stage, a new page. The race is the medium of expression, the structure within every individual chronicle. The adventures of riding through diverse and ever-changing landscapes add depth to the anecdotes, ascending into clouds and dropping, knuckles white, clinging to the very edge of control, down steep and technical single tracks. There is hardly a moment of respite. Frenetic action for 8 days straight, concentration key throughout. 20 years of stories, 20,000 riders' tales, millions of memories. From 2004 to 2024, and again, opportunities beckon. The untamed awaits. This is the Absa Cape Epic. For the 11th time, the race visits Lourensford Wine Estate. The 320-year-old farm was established by an early governor of the Cape and has played an integral role in the history of the Absa Cape Epic. From 2007 to 2014, it hosted the grand finale. An 8-year hiatus followed before 2022 brought the event back to Somerset West and the slopes of the Helderberg Mountains. It was here that Georg Egger and Lucas Baum introduced themselves to the race. Before Beer-led Speed Company's luck turned in 2023 with a mechanical that destroyed their chances of overall victory. The vast estate is home to kilometre upon kilometre of dedicated mountain biking trails, linked by dual tracks through vineyards, orchards and through endemic vegetation, regrowing after decades of displacement by pine plantations. In 2024, Lourensford staged registration and the Prologue, the scene setter for this year's race. The opening team time trial takes in a 26-kilometre course with 700 metres of accumulated elevation gain. Racing against the clock, each team will take to the tracks and trails in an attempt to set the best possible time. For the elite racers, the Prologue is an opportunity to lay down a marker and claim the first leaders' jerseys. While for the amateurs, their day one times will determine their stage one start groups. For the 650 amateur teams, the Prologue would serve to settle the nerves and a taste of what lay ahead. Old hands knew what they were about to face.
But the Epic's always a tough event and there's always some challenges. We just get through the Prologue, one day at a time, and water point to water point, and enjoy the trails. It's a really well organised and a fun event.
It's been a long way to get here.
6 months of hard work.
So we just want to get it going and start to enjoy it. Today I think it's going to be nice. It's going to start getting tough from tomorrow, I think.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's an incredible honor to be here and a privilege, and I'm so grateful that I've been healthy to come back 20 times through all the ups and the downs, but luckily you only remember the ups, and I've got a wonderful partner, and it's a very big day because it's so beautiful to have grown 20 years journey with the Epic and see how it has grown in all ways, and to see so many people here from all over the world. So I'm feeling great, I'm feeling blessed and excited.
Yeah, the Cape Epic was basically in your head the whole winter long. You worked for it very hard. You had good and bad moments. It's really nice to prep for such a big race, and then when everything comes out well, it's just amazing, the achievement, not only for yourself, for the whole team, because they're with you for over 8 days and also in the preparation and to give back.
Five-time winner Christoph Sauser may not be racing this year, but his insights are always appreciated, especially by the amateurs who soak up every bit of advice they can glean. Every rider in the race dedicated their festive seasons and the early parts of the year to getting race ready.
It's like a bucket list thing, and you know, when you got the chance, you grab it and take it and go have some fun. It's a big one. It's a 20th anniversary, and you know, if you're a mountain biker, it's like being able to do the Tour de France. It's just a big thing. It's a big event, and it's probably the pinnacle of mountain biking stage races.
This is my second Epic, and I'm here because we were here together in 2020 when it got canceled, and I said I would never do it again. It was so hard unless he wanted to come and do it, and he called me on my bluff, and here we are.
Whatever the reason for entering the Absa Cape Epic, once on the start line, the first goal for every team is to finish. Thereafter, sub-goals of chasing category honours or beating rivals start to crystallise from possibilities into potential realities. On the prologue, just getting going is key. Transferring the emotional angst into kinetic energy, powering each pedal stroke until the nerves settle.
It was great. It was a nice ride, beautiful weather. It was really nice. It was better than the reckon we did 2 days ago. So yeah, we liked it.
So much fun. Just challenging enough to get you warm and loose, ready for the rest of the week. It's gonna be a blast. Definitely it's warmed up quite a bit. It was nice and cool this morning. The breeze was great. When you hit into the shade, it was a good little refresher. It kept you going. But yeah, it's gonna get warm and it's gonna get hotter.
The heat was certainly rising as the amateurs wrapped up their rides and the elite women prepared to take to the course. From braving the untamed, the UCI women upped the ante, racing the untamed. The Aramex UCI Women's competition features its strongest ever field in 2024. Along with the experienced Absa Cape Epic campaigners like Candice, Lill, Vera Lossa and Sofia Gomez-Villafan, this year's race sees exciting newcomers Mona Mitterwallner, Alexis Schurter and Samara Shepherd, as well as the all-debutantes duo from Ghost Factory Racing and Terpstra and Nicole Koller.
So there's so many factors playing into the role in this race and so much can happen. So we'll take it day by day. We're looking forward to it. I'm really excited to race with Alexis. I think it will be a good match and we see how it plays out.
It looks hard and it's, I think honestly, the biggest, most challenging race, it seems like, that you can do, and I just really wanted to see what it's all about.
Oh, I'm really excited. It's the biggest challenge in mountain biking. I've done a few stage races like the Swiss Epic, that's 4 days. I've never done an 8-day one, but yeah, just backing up each day and traversing the terrain, it's what I want to do. It's absolutely something I'm really excited for. Yeah, it's a really important race. I've won it, so I know that I have what it takes to win it again. But yeah, anything, as we saw last year, really anything can happen over the 8 days.
So the last 4 times I've come second in the Cape Epic, often missing out by some bad luck or something that's just gone wrong near the end. And obviously I've come to know that this is how the Cape Epic works. You can be the strongest team on paper and actually you don't win the race.
We are the best versions we can be. And as Candice said, in the Epic a lot of things can happen, I heard. So all we can control is the now, how we race, where we end up, and I would say that's more than enough to think about.
The women were eager to get their Absa Cape Epic campaigns underway. Nervous grins, repositioning pedals, and anxious fist bumps were the order of the day in the starters' hut. But soon the commissaires had counted them down and their races were underway. Forging ahead into the Lourensford trails, into the unknown for some, along familiar paths for others. Danielle Stradom and Steph Walters had a steady start, staying ahead of the She Untamed team of Sarah Hill and Hayley Smith at the time checks. Not all the women enjoyed trouble-free rides through the Prologue course, though the crashes were minor. The early starters like Ifort Mente Corpo were also being passed on the trails by the faster teams. But they maintained their focus on their own performance, not getting sucked into the favourites race. Of the day's top performers, the new combination of South African time trial champion Hayley Preen and French marathon champion Léna Giraud were perhaps a surprise package. The Ifort Private Client Holdings team put in a strong performance to clock the 5th fastest time of the day. This sets them up well for the days to come, with only the pre-race 5-star favourites ahead of them. As befitting her status, the defending champion Vera Lossa and her American teammate Alexis Skada were last off the start line. But the efficient Infinity SCB SRAM team could only manage the 4th fastest time of the day, leaving themselves with work to do over the coming stages. Toyota Specialized 91's 2022 champion Sofia Gomez-Villafan and her Oceania Marathon champion teammate Samara Shepherd put in stellar rides on the Prologue. The pair rode like a team who have raced together for years, rather than a combination making their debut as a squad. The Argentine and the New Zealander worked together perfectly, swapping turns on the front and offering each other the opportunity to recover in the wheels, either by taking turns pulling on the rear flat sections or alternating who led through the single tracks. These moments of respite will add up over the course of 8 days and could be the foundation upon which Gomez-Villafan and Shepherd build a title challenge. Their least favourite stage ticked off, the real race begins for them in Tilbach. As it will for Mona Mitterwallner and Candice Lill. The Cannondale Factory Racing combination started strongly, with the South African marathon champion doing the lion's share of the work, pacing her world marathon champion partner. Then the heat began to affect the Austrian. Mitterwallner faded slightly in the back end of the course, ceding seconds to the stage winners. Crossing the line, the Cannondale Factory Racing team knew they did all they could on the day, but it was not the process-orientated goal they would have hoped for. But with early starts and finishes around the same time as they started the Prologue in the days to come, the heat should be less of an issue, even though the mercury is predicted to rise to 35 degrees during stages 1 and 2. Mitterwallner and Lill will hope their best days are yet to come. The team most happy with how the Prologue played out will be Ghost Factory Racing. And Terpstra and Nicole Koller were in fine form on the first day of the 2024 Absa Cape Epic. They paced their efforts to perfection, clocking similar times to Cannondale Factory Racing and Toyota Specialized 91 over the first 13 kilometres, and then putting the hammer down on the climb to the Toyota Tough segment. The time they gained on the main climb was multiplied by the single-track descent and their flight across the Fair Tree floating bridge. Crossing the line even with their rivals still to finish, it was clear they had done enough to pull the first orange Chiavita jerseys over their shoulders. They will not cede them without an enormous fight.
The plan was to be quite conservative, to start off easy, to keep it safe, especially in the downhills. And I would say we came down quite good, but the conservative thing, I'm not sure if we did that as we planned. We might went a little harder, but I think that's also a good sign because apparently we both also felt like it. We for sure didn't want to do anything stupid today, so the main goal was to just be safe, come through, have fun, enjoy the single tracks, and then see what happens.
It was a little bit of a challenge to find the right pacing for the start because, it was hot out there and we didn't want to go too fast into the first day. And I think in the end we kind of found our pace. Maybe it was a little bit faster than we expected, but it ended quite nice.
A stellar ride from Ghost Factory Racing put them on the top step after the 26-kilometre Prologue. Cannondale Factory Racing and Toyota Specialized 91 were separated by just 6 seconds in second and third. Ghost Factory Racing's time of 1 hour 14 minutes and 45 seconds sees them take a lead of 1 minute and 5 seconds into the 88-kilometre loop of the Tilbach Valley. Terpstra and Koller will wear the first orange Aramex Women's Leaders jerseys into Stage 1.
Contenders for that African jersey. Whole bunch of riders coming down the finish line. Howard Gross. College and a hands together for our South African champion here. He's one of the legends of the Absa Cape Epic already, having won.
Yeah, epic. It's the usual. It's such a crazy race. You don't know what can happen, but obviously through these years we've kind of figured out what you need to do and what you have to control as much as you can control, and then the uncontrollable it's uncontrollable. So we'll manage what we can control and do that to our best ability. If we do that all right, then we just have to put it down to lady luck as well.
Yeah, it's a Cape Epic. It's like it can go so quick wrong, like a lot of things need to go right. And but for sure we have it, and I hope the good luck is also on our side.
Yeah, like I said last year after crossing the finish line in Val de Vie, now we know how to win and how to lose a Cape Epic. But we're not going to throw out free rides this year. So if we're going to attack, we're going to make it stick. And yeah, we're going to race a bit more tactical this year, I think.
Orbea Liet Speed Company were not the only team with tactical plans. For Tiger Eurosteel, Buff Megamode 2, Honeycomb Pro Cycling and Canyon City were eager to get their campaigns off to the best possible start, but also not to take any undue early risks. Of the quartet, Andreas Seerwald and Mark Stutzman were the team with the most to lose, but also the most to gain. Georg Egger and Lucas Baum appeared a touch off their usual aggressive best. Perhaps the rising midday heat affected the German combination. Nonetheless, they kept fighting for rhythm, knowing that any second conceded on the time trial would have to be clawed back in the stages to come. The old adage that the race cannot be won in the prologue, but it can be lost, rang true. And Orbea Liet Speed Company were fighting to ensure that though they lost the battle, they would remain in the war. They finished the day ahead of Tiger Eurosteel, Buff Megamode 2, Honeycomb Pro Cycling and Canyon City, but outside the top 5 places. William Vittoria Factory were one of the teams to force the 2022 winners down the standings. Fabian Rabensteiner and Samuel Poro stormed through the stage, climbing powerfully and flowing along the single tracks in a display that justified their number 3 seeding. On a course which did not suit their marathon strengths, the Italians indicated that they may be more than just a team to watch in the 2024 race. They could in fact be a team to fear. So too are the Mbuka Pro Cycling combination. Marco Hubert and Wessel Buerter entered the race in the best form of their careers. The former was a stage winner in 2022 and had indicated that they would be going all in pursuit of a top 5 finish. If they are to maintain their 4th position that they achieved on the prologue, despite Hubert crashing in the Toyota Tough segment, they will better the top placing of an all-African team. There is still, however, a very long way to race. Day 1 of 8 is a hint rather than a definitive marker of their form. They will, though, be very happy with their opening effort. As will Wout Alleman and Hans Becking of Buff Megamode. The European Marathon champion is a new addition to the Spanish team and has put Becking under pressure in the off-season. The Dutch champion has clearly risen to the challenge, and if their prologue performance, a race to 3rd on the opening day, is anything to go by, they will be a force to be reckoned with in the 20th Absa Cape Epic. So will Toyota Specialized 91, though Matt Beers and Howard Grotz would have loved to have been closer to the day's victors. The defending champion and his 2018 Cape Epic winning partner posted the fastest times in the first 2 time checks, but could not stay ahead of their biggest rivals over the second half of the course. For them, the race enters their favourite terrain in the days to come. So this race-paced effort might prove to be less consequential than it seems now. especially as they'll not have the added responsibilities of the race leaders going into the marathon days. They will, however, still have the eyes of every other team in the race on them.
Matt Beers, Howard Grotz, let's see the time. Wow.
Though not with the same focus Nino Schurter and Sebastian Finney will endure. The World Bicycle Relief Team were many fans' favourites ahead of the race and lived up to that billing with a dominant performance. Schurter was relentless through the stage, driving the pace from kilometre 0 until the finish line. His new Danish partner did not disappoint either. Finney's front wheel was never more than a handful of centimetres off Schurter's rear tyre. In a perfect display of team riding, they surged ahead of Toyota Specialized 91's times halfway through the stage and raced further ahead through each of the closing kilometres. Returning to the fields of Lourensford, they were definitive victors on the day.
Yeah, we're pretty happy. We're in yellow. No, it was a really good start. To be honest, I was a bit nervous. It was my first race for the season. I didn't know what to expect. I saw Finney already competing really well this season, so I knew I need to be on point to keep up with him. But yeah, we had a good strategy. We paced ourselves pretty well. But it was brutal conditions. It was super hot now coming again from Europe, like from the cold, and then it was like in those uphills, like the air was standing and it was super hot. So it was a tough one, but we are super happy at taking yellow at the first day. So
no, we are super happy. We did Andalusia bike race together, and it was already good luck, very good for us. And now to be in the top spot with Specialized in Scotland with the big games, with the big guns, it's really good for us. And for me, maybe it's the hardest stage, like the short 1 hour full gas. And for this, I look super forward for the next 7 days. And yeah, it's gonna be a good one, I guess, if we start like this. But we'll see.
I think everything went smoothly, barring 2 crashes I had. The power looked really good, and we had a solid, sort of pacing strategy that I think we nailed. Yeah, we want to go for the African jersey, but now it seems like we set quite a good time. And yeah, I mean, me and Vessel, we live together, so we mates. We stoked to be here at the Cape Epic in our home country. So yeah, here to give our all.
Yeah, we started well the first 10 minutes, and then Lucas, I think the heat or something got him a bit. So for me, I felt quite good, so I did not have to ride full gas today. Yeah, hopefully Lucas is better tomorrow. We think he did a little nutrition mistake before the race, so I think we're gonna sort it out for tomorrow, but the rest was fine. Yeah, I like the heat, I like the weather, and the track was also awesome.
Wow. In the first climb I was suffering so much, in the long one. Couldn't find the pace today, I was struggling with the heat, so we were a bit off the pace. Yeah. Have to adjust the next days. I don't even know what time was, how much gap, second right now. Yeah, we have to see. But yeah, a bit disappointing, but yeah, 7 days to come.
Schurter and Finney stepped up to the top of the podium, opening their 2024 Absa Cape Epic account in the best possible way, alongside the Toyota Specialized 91 and Buff Megamo teams. World Bicycle Relief's time for the 26-kilometre prologue was a blistering 1 hour, 2 minutes and 38 seconds, which was 51 seconds quicker than Beers and Grotz. Becking and Alleman were a further 41 seconds back. Resplendent in yellow, the 10-time world champion and his Danish partner will wear the first UCI men's leaders jerseys into Stage 1. The first marathon day is an 88-kilometre route around the Tulbach Valley. It mixes smooth and rugged single tracks, which range from one side of the valley to the other. But before the next trial, there's an opportunity to reflect on the beauty of the prologue and Lourensford.